Hello again guys and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Ma and this is a channel about semi-hydroponics and house plants. And before you all jump, I'm sorry for my hair, but I didn't manage to do it in the required time because I already bleached it 5 times and I need to let him breathe for a bit, because if not I will be left without any hair. So excuse my face with this hair. It looks awful, I know, but it will get better. Right, so I get asked a lot of times why semi-hydroponics, why I should use semi-hydroponics, how is different from the compost. So the first thing that I want to say, leca pebbles are reusable. So if a plant died, or I don't know, or you have to repot it in a bigger pot, you can still use the leca from this pot and mix it with more leca for a bigger pot. So that will be perfectly fine. If a plant died in leca, you could sterilize the leca. How? Boil it. Easy enough. Just boil it, rinse it, let it cool down, reuse it. So this is one advantage. It's reusable. So you can buy 2 bags of leca. They are not so expensive. They are actually, for what they are doing, they are really cheap. And you can reuse it over and over again. Well, obviously till it's breaking down, but that will not happen in the next 10 years. So, what is another advantage of leca? Well, the next one, it's debatable. Because everyone says that you can go in holiday for wherever and you don't need to worry about your plants, watering them. Why I say it's debatable? Because depends on your climate. If you're living like me in a humid climate with not so high temperature, my plants will stay, my plants will not need to top up the reservoir for at least 2 months, because the water, it's not evaporating so quickly. That doesn't mean I have a huge reservoir of water. I have just like that for every plant, a bit bigger for bigger pots with bigger plants, like that one behind me. You can see has a bigger pot, but still I didn't check that one. I should check it as well, but she looks fine, so I don't need to check it. So if you are living in a climate like mine, yeah, that will be fine. But if you are living in a hotter country, that will not be so easy, because in a hotter environment, leca will dry really quickly, especially if it's a big pot, because the surface of the air circulation will be bigger, so they will start drying from the top, but because of the wicking properties, they will suck the water from the reservoir till the top, but the top will stay always dry because of the air circulation. The area of the air circulation is bigger, if that makes any sense. If you have a small pot, that will stay damp or humid for a longer period of time. In my environment, I don't know if it's hotter. I don't think it will work so well. So this, for me, for example, we are going in holiday. I'll have my mom here to take care of my plants, obviously, and the dogs. Well, first the dogs, after that plant. But I will tell her not to top up any reservoir whatsoever, because they will be fine for 5 days. They don't need any more water. You can let them dry. By the way, I keep forgetting. I want to mention here, there is a YouTuber called Rachel. She has her YouTube channel, it's Pretty in Plants. I'll link it down below anyway. And she has a video about watering in semi-hydroponics, in which she says that you can leave the plant to dry out completely, and after that water it and dry out completely and water it again. But I'm not saying I'm not okay with that theory, but for my environment, for example, if I will do that, I will have to leave a plant to dry completely, because even if you don't have the reservoir, right, even if the reservoir is finished, like mine has just a bit on the bottom, the leca will still be wet inside, and they will start drying on the top. But by the time that all this will dry, I can guarantee you it will be at least 8 weeks. So this plant will be without any nutrients for 8 weeks, because in hydroponics, passive hydroponics, semi-hydroponics, however you want to call it, you have to change the reservoir of water 10 days. It's actually 7 to 10 days, but I'm doing that once a month, because some of the nutrients are evaporating, some of the nutrients that are supposed to stay down move up, and the other way around. I will not go in that again because I already explained that, how it's working. So if I leave my plant for, let's say, 2 months to dry and to water it again, I don't know how that will work. So I gave you the example of Rachel because she's living in a hotter area, whereas I don't think it's like here. There are 0 degrees already, and the humidity outside, it's 99%. So semi-hydroponics or hydroponics depends a lot in the area that you are living. Climate, humidity, air, ventilation that you give to the plant, and so on. So I was thinking, because actually Rachel's idea was really good, to leave the plant to dry out, and after that top it out, top the reservoir with water, with nutrients. And I wanted to see how long it will take me for a plant to dry out. You have to consider this is not a big pot, it's actually a small pot. I don't know in centimeters, I think it's 13 centimeters. So the reservoir, I've changed the reservoir with water 2 weeks ago. I still have some on the bottom, so that was 2 weeks ago. Still have some on the bottom, so the leca will still continue to wick the water from the bottom, because even if the bottom doesn't touch the water will evaporate, and if she's trapped between these 2 pots, she doesn't have where to go than through the bottom of the pot, so it will still wick the leca. So I'm thinking I will leave this one dry because she's not too fussy, she's doing really well. I will leave this to dry to see how long it will take me for this plant to dry. But my point is, because of the temperature and the humidity and ventilation and all the factors that are involved, I don't think this plant will dry the leca in the middle, in the middle of the pot. I don't think it will dry in 6 weeks. So I have to consider, if you have to change the nutrient solution after 7 to 10 days, what will happen with the plant after 2 months without any nutrients, because we know that leca doesn't have any nutrients. And even if the leca is moist or damp, sorry for that, that's postman. Yeah, sorry for that. It was someone at the door, not postman. And yeah, where were we? Where were we? Okay, so as I was saying about watering, I'm not sure that that will work for someone that is in a humid climate with a moderate temperature, because at the moment here in this room I have, if I can find, on the windowsill, which is kind of drafty, to be fair, they are 18 degrees. So in the room will be 19, 20. So for that temperature, I could say, and I keep the same temperature at night with the heater. So I have the heater and the humidifier. So the air is getting, well, it's not getting dry because I have 3 humidifiers, but it's getting till 60%. I think that's the best for the plant at the moment, including at night. So with that temperature and that humidity in this room, the reservoir, until all the leca will be dry, it will take me 2 months for sure. Don't get me wrong, I am trying this with Adansoni because that will be great. If the plant will grow normally, like they are growing in this period of time in winter almost, if the plant is growing and is thriving, I don't mind to top up the reservoir every 2 months. That would be perfect for me. But we'll see. We'll see. So go and subscribe to Rachel's channel, and I think it's Rachel. I hope I'm not mistaking your name. If I am, I'm sorry. Because she has quite nice and interesting videos about semi-hydroponics. I'm sorry guys. About semi-hydroponics. Right. Again, why you should convert your plants into semi-hydroponics? Well, it's less messier. You can check the roots how many times you want. You will not disturb the roots, you will not stress them. They will be more than fine. You have to check the roots in the first month anyway, just to see if you have rotten root. But as soon as your plant is going a bit like that, you can take it out and check the roots, see if the problem is from there, or maybe it's a lack of nutrients, or God knows, whatever it is. Another reason for which you can convert your plant into semi-hydroponics will be the growth. The growth for semi-hydroponics, and it was scientifically proven that it's 25% more than in compost. And when I say compost with fertilizer, with grow hormones, with whatever you are putting in there. Okay? So the growth of the plant in semi-hydroponics is 25% more than in compost. Another reason for which to put your plant in semi-hydroponics, I think I've lost my idea. It's because of so much bleach. Yeah, the bleach is the fault of the bleach. I actually wanted to say something else. So those are the pros for the semi-hydroponics. You will have some cons with semi-hydroponics. Better say they are my cons with semi-hydroponics that I experienced, right, in the last 5 years. Not all the plants will survive. Some of the times, well, I think all the time was my fault actually, because probably I should give the plant more time to adjust to semi-hydroponics. because all the plants will have a period of time that they will adjust to semi-hydroponics. They will grow water roots. They will rot the roots they don't need anymore because they grow other roots. Leaves will die. It's not a tragedy. Let's not make a tragedy because we have a little brown tip. It's all right. You can have 20 brown tips. It's all right. It's not a big issue. Life, it's not perfect. Nature, it's not perfect for sure. So I'm sorry. I don't know what is going on. Too much humidity. Yeah, so life is not perfect. Nature is not perfect. So be thankful with what you have. So if you have a brown tip, it's all right. Breathe deeply. Cut the tip if it's bothering you so much. And move forward. So this will be a con for me because I had my Hoya Crimson Queen dead. She's in the bin. But to be fair, that one was not in good shape when I've got her. She was not in good shape. She was, oh my god, my head is looking awful. Anyway, she was not in good shape at all. My Nepenthes Bloody Mary, the carnivorous plant, that was looking really well when I bought her. It was really nice plant. She's in the bin as well. I think with the Nepenthes, the problem was the too high AC. Too high AC fried my plant really quickly. But, well, that's life. Another con that everyone, I don't think people are talking about that. They say that you can't have pests in semi-hydroponics. That's wrong. Half is true. You can't have pests in semi-hydroponics. Yeah, you can't. But you can have pests on the leaves. You can be sure of that. My Colocasia, black gecko, and Kona coffee, the leaves were full of mealybugs 4 days ago. Nothing in the compost, obviously, because it's not an organic compost that they could lay eggs in it. And my luck was that my Colocasia was far away from all my plants. I don't know why. She was just far away because I kept moving all my plants everywhere. If I notice that they don't like anything, something, I don't know, I'm just moving them till they look happy. And when they look happy, I will still move them again because I don't like them where they are looking so happy. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so I keep moving my plants everywhere. So she was far away from my plants. Just to prevent an outbreak, I've cleaned all the leaves of my plant with neem oil, coconut oil, horticultural soap, water, and you have my recipe in a video. I will link it down below if I remember. I will link it down below. And I just clean my leaves, just the prevention, but I didn't find anything. So yes, you can have pests. Yes, it's true, you can't have pests into semi-hydroponics, which means the pot, but you definitely can have pests on the leaves. So I did have that. I hope that will be the last time. Is the first time that I'm having things like that, and I don't like it. And I think they were red spider mites. They were red, they were not the white ones. So yeah, that will be not a con. The con is not all the plants will adjust to semi-hydroponics, and you need to have patience with them. You need to, if you see that the plant is struggling, you need to check it more often. You need to check the roots. You will need, if you have too much root rot, you will need to let the plant dry before you put it in the leca. Try not to water it in the same day. Leave it for 2 or 3 days and she will be fine after that for you to water. I have my white princess and white wizard. I'm not happy with the rate of the growth of those two at all. They didn't do anything for me in 6 months. Well, no, not anything. One leaf each. One leaf each. And the white princess, I think she has one root. So after when I got it, I put it into semi-hydroponic straight away. And obviously I've checked her after 2 months or so, because I forgot. And all the roots were rotten. And she had a little tiny one coming from the stem. And I said, right, if she will survive, she will survive. So I put it back in semi-hydroponics, clean all the rotten parts, obviously. And she has a root like now, from that little root, but one leaf. That's it. So that could be as well, because let's make something clear, because when you send me messages on Instagram, why is that happening to my plant? There is never one reason only. Never. Because there is not. Because could be lack of nutrients, but how you will find out which nutrients you lack from the water or from the nutrient solution? Do you have so many tests to perform a test for the NPK, for the magnesium, for the calcium, for the... No, you don't. Could be too big reservoir of water, could be, I don't know, the change of the weather, could be a draft, could be root rot, could be so many things, pests. There could be a lot of things. So please don't expect, when you send me a message why my leaf looks like that, I genuinely don't know. I just guess which could be the problem, but that doesn't mean I'm right always, because I'm not a specialist. And I wish I was, but I'm not. But I'm getting there. Just, yeah. So I think this was way too long. I wanted to answer that question, why semi-hydroponics, because I have a lot of questions about that. Why semi-hydroponics? Why started semi-hydroponics? I've started semi-hydroponics because of the fungus gnats. And I tell you one thing, and I moved the camera right now because I banged my table for some reason. And I tell you a thing, you will not have fungus gnats, that's for sure. So all the pests that it usually develop in the compost will not develop in the leca pebbles ever, because they can't. It's not organic, they don't have anything to sustain life. So that's why we put the water with the nutrients for the leca, because they don't have any nutrients. They have salts, they have minerals, but that will not sustain a plant. Okay? So just water and the leca will not give you any growth or any life after 1 month or 2. So the plant will die. So you need nutrients. So yeah, I think that's it. That's kind of it for today. Again, if you have any questions, please let me know. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe if you like the channel, or don't subscribe if you don't like the channel. Whatever you want. And have a great weekend, because it's Friday. And see you next Friday with I don't know with what. We'll see then. So if you have any questions, maybe you have any suggestions for the next Friday episode, and please, I know, looks awful. I know, it will look better. Just give me a month or so, because if I bleach it again, I think I will lose all my hair. Alright, so have a nice weekend, guys. thank you for watching me. Thank you for following me on Instagram. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you have questions, suggestions, if you want to see something in particular, please drop me a comment. So, have a nice weekend, and I don't know, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. Bye.